Russell Hill, your humble host on another exciting episode of WTF, and that's what the Fixed Ops to you. I'm also joined, which you'll hear in just a minute. We have a very special guest. I'm going to let her announce who our special guest is today. Drum roll, please.
All right. Well, I'm Charity. I'm the co-host here at WTF, and today we have Darryl Terrell. Darryl, tell us who you are, what you do, and what makes you who you are.
Well, my name is Darryl Terrell. I'm the FixedOPS director here at Matt Bauer's Chevy of Metairie. It's a town right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. I think what makes me unique and what makes me special who I am is that I manage with my heart, and I really, really care about all my guys, and I want all of them to do well. I want to change all their lifestyles, and I mean it's a challenge that I think I'm big enough to take on, and I really, really enjoy like just genuinely seeing people grow and just seeing people change their lifestyles for the best and seeing people get better. And I'm a student of the game, and I want to grow and learn as well. And I just want to keep getting better.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. How did Darryl get his start in automotive? Tell us that story. We know who you are, and a lot of our listeners will know. And if they don't, they're going to find out much more about you. But what's your origin story?
Yeah.
That is an interesting question. So my dad, my dad originally was a service manager, and so he tried his best to prevent me from joining the industry with him. So he always
to prevent you?
Yeah, to prevent me from joining the industry. But it's kind of weird though, because it's kind of weird. I'll tell you guys the story. He used to always take me to work every Saturday, and you know I would. From as little as I can remember, about 9, 10 years old, I'll be in a waiting room, you know, when they had the Game Boys out, you know, I'll play my Game Boy in the waiting room and I'll be watching him. And then when I got older, he allowed me to go into the shop and roam around, and I got, you know, I wanted to, you know, try and put tires on and stuff like that. And then he ended up hiring me as every weekend. I was an oil changer for him.
Oh, nice.
And then, then, you know, I went to high school, and then in high school, I went to school for automotive. And they had me in an intern program, and I got my first job in a dealership actually now. So now I kind of expanded from my dad's wings, and I kind of roamed alone, and they put me under this master technician in a Subaru dealership, and I interned with them for 2 years. Then I graduated high school, and I played college high school football and college football. So when I got to college, I quit my job in an automotive dealership. And I played football full time, you know, the full-time job playing football and going to school.
I'll bet.
I did that for 2 years, and then I tore my ACL, and then my football dreams went out of the window.
Oh.
So I did what a lot of people do. They resort back to the automotive industry, and I got back into the automotive industry as an oil changer at a local shop, and I worked my way up. I went from that shop, and then I went to another dealership. I got a job offer at another dealership, and I started from the bottom, from oil changer. Then I became a technician. Then I became a master technician, and then I became a shop foreman, and then I became a service manager, and now I'm a service and parts director, where I'm at now. But I just kept wanting to get better. Certifications. I wanted to be as certified. I mean, I wanted to have as many certifications as possible in my field. I didn't stop. I just kept finding ways to become better and sharpen my tools. And here I am today, and I don't plan on stopping. I want to keep getting better. I want to keep growing as a person.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's amazing. So what do you think it is about fixed operations that gives you passion?
The passion about fixed operations that I have, I really believe is just helping people. I'm a genuinely nice person, and I think I like solving problems, and there's a lot of problems with fixed operations. There's a lot of problems to solve, you know, from any, you know, spectacle you could imagine, you know, from people problems to car problems to accounting problems. I just like fixing problems and finding solutions. I like the challenge. I like being challenged, and just like figuring things out and helping people. And that's what I mean. FixedOPS, man, it's a wide range, man. It's so many different avenues you could go down and FixedOPS, from parts, service. So I just like solving problems. I like the challenge, most importantly.
Excellent. Challenge is a great word. I know you to be that way too, a humble leader, but a quest for knowledge and learning more and more and more. And, being on the edge, always striving to get better. I want to ask you something that I thought about when you were talking about college football. A lot of people don't get to as passionate they are about football to even make it to the college level, let alone to the pro level. And here you are living the dream, right? And then boom, it's over. What happened there? Were trials and tribulations, or, I mean, you didn't just say, oh, I'm going to get back in automotive. Was there downtime? Was there reflection time? I mean, or maybe I missed the mark. Maybe it was no big deal and you overcame it just like that. But
so this is my story, and everybody have a different story, but
sure.
High school, man, I was one of the best high school football players in my city. So I was on the news, highlight reels. So then when I got to college, I went to Division III school, and I thought that it was going to be a piece of cake.
Sure.
So, I'm a superstar in high school, so I go D3, and I'm like, oh, it's D3. Like,
no big deal, right?
No big deal.
Yeah.
And I show up to football camp, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, all these guys are D3, man. And so it was kind of like a humbling experience to go from high school to college because like I said, in high school, I was the most valuable player. I was the team captain. So I kind of had to start from the bottom. But actually, it made me better, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Just starting from the beginning, grinding, working my way up through the ranks, working into the starting lineup again. And then when I got to, like I said, it was my sophomore year, I was on the field and I tore my ACL, and I tried to come back after that injury, but it just didn't happen, man. My speed wasn't there. My reaction time wasn't there. And then it really was not that much downtime because I made a decision pretty quick. As soon as that happened and I knew I wasn't able to come back, I probably lasted about 2 more games. And I realized I was like, man, I'm just another number now, like I'm not who I was before. And the coaching staff, they started changing a little bit, and, and I wasn't the Darryl that I was previously before the injury. And so I said, you know what, look, it's time to move on. I gotta find a career. I gotta, make money. I'm in college. I need money. I gotta pay bills. So
sure.
I tried to get back into the automotive industry. It was a quick decision. It wasn't too long to.
Well, I'll tell you,
make it.
Acceptance is the key, and you accepted that pretty quick and didn't dwell too long. Some people, it could be devastating for, their whole life is ruined or whatever, right?
Yeah, my mother, she didn't accept it too quick. She's like, no, there's no way you're gonna come back. I'm like, Mom, it's over with. It's time to move on, Mom.
Well, good for you. Good for you. I'm going to try to get this question out as coherently as I can. You seem like the type of person that puts in an extraordinary amount of effort in whatever you do, whether that's football or your job, and I know you've also, we just had these folks on, we just had Service Drive Live guys on, and I know that you attend that. So my question is, what kind of person do you think has that kind of motivation? Where does it come from? And, how can other people get it?
Yeah, I want to piggyback off what Cherry said. This is a great thought that she has. So I also am on, Sunday Drive Live. So Joe and Eric and all the people that are on there, it keeps growing and growing and growing. Okay. We all have, we go to work 6 days a week. This is on Sunday morning.
Yeah, a 7.
Where does this level of commitment and passion, and what do you think? What do you get out of it? What is that about? What is Joe and Eric delivering? Because I know you participate. You're everybody in there participates at some level. Very few actually just listen, but a lot of things happen in that room. What is that about? We'll get into that in a minute, but you're married, you got children, etc. You're working 6 days a week, and yet you show up Sunday morning at 7 a.m. What's all that about, Darryl?
So, man, I think it originates from,
Hold on, let me ask a question. They're not paying you to come on there, are they?
no, definitely
Okay,
not.
all right, good. All right, good deal. Go ahead.
I think it originates from just the way I was raised. My dad, he worked for everything he ever had, and he didn't give me anything. I had to work for everything. Whatever I wanted, I had to work for it. So I think that it genuinely comes from coming from nothing, and just knowing that whatever you want, and my goals are massive. Like I have massive goals. So just knowing that whatever you want, nobody's gonna give it to you. You have to work for it. And you have to be willing to put the work in. And then at the end of the day, you gotta have like a no excuse mentality, because I really believe everybody, the position, everybody that they're there solely because of their self, and they could get out of it if they want to. So I believe you gotta have a no excuse mentality. I mean, I can make 1,000,001 excuses why I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I'm where I'm at now. But at the end of the day, if I want to change something, it takes me to change that. So that's why I know the only way I know how to get results is by working and just getting better and learning and being a student of the game. Waking up every Sunday morning with Service Drive Live, it brings value to me. You guys, Russ, Eric, Joe, Mike Barrich, all you guys bring so much value to me. So, I mean, if I want to get better, I got to put the work in to do it, because nobody's going to do the work for me. So that's why I get up every day, and that's why I work so hard.
Well, so your father taught you that that work ethic. That's great. Okay, let me
Well, before you head on, Russell,
yeah, go ahead.
we'll transition a little bit to your family. And I gotta say, I didn't have much growing up either. And as a mother, that makes it very difficult for me to keep back, to hold back from my boys, from not giving them huge parties and toys and basically whatever they want. And so how do you manage, how you grew up and instilling those values in your children, but also, give them a life that's, what they want?
Yeah.
That is a tough question.
It's hard. I'm looking for answers here.
Right?
Because I try, but I have 4 girls, 4 little girls, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. They just know how to melt my heart. So
Hello, everyone. I wanted to tell you about a workshop we're holding at NADA 2023. We're covering how EV adoption rates will impact fixed operations in the future. We'll show you real and meaningful data that might just put you at ease. Or maybe not. You'll have to come see. Come join us at our workshop, How Electric Vehicles Will Change Fixed Operations. We'll see you there.
I do instill values. They have chores. I pay them for doing their chores. We talk about jobs, careers. What do they want to do when they get older? So I try and just give them the same life lessons that my parents taught me. Something my mother always did to me, said to me was, she said, whenever I left the house, she would say, Junior, there's 2 types of people in the world. You have followers and leaders. When you walk out this door, I want you to be a leader. So I tell my kids the same thing. And it's funny because whenever she said that, I'm like, I know, Mom, I'm a leader. I know, but look what it made me today. So I know it worked. So I do the same thing to my kids. I say, hey, it's 2 types of people. And they're like, I know, Dad, a leader. I'm be a leader. So as far as sometimes my kids, they do get over on me. Maybe a lot of times they get over on me. But I just try and give them a life I never lived.
So did they get over on your wife too?
So my wife is a little more strict with them.
Good balance. Good balance.
A little more strict with them. They come to Daddy when they want something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to,
Mom, yeah.
The balance, instilling good values in them.
But I learned my lesson though. When they come to me asking for something, usually usually my wife already told them no. So, so I'm like, what did mommy say? They're like, no. I'm like, there's the answer.
Yeah. It's amazing how people keep going to whoever they need to go to get that proverbial yes. Anything short of yes, it's why. It's always some kind of debate, and no is actually a complete sentence. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that I do the same thing.
Correct.
Oh man.
Yeah, I tell you, it's Yeah. So what is your wife's name and what are your kids' names?
My
Your
wife's
girls.
name is Tanera. I have a daughter named Jazara. She's my oldest. She's then I have my second oldest. Her name is Jaslyn. Um, my third one is Giselle, and my last one is Josiah.
Wow.
We named them all Jaz.
Yes.
I
We call
love
them
that.
Very cool.
they're
See?
all jazzies.
Oh,
I bet people that know you don't even know that. So there is a tidbit for all of you out there on WTF with Darryl Terrell.
So, do
Okay.
you take any of
Jazzies.
your girls to work with you on Saturdays?
No, I don't yet. Yeah, I don't yet because in a dealership it's so many different moving pieces.
You're a busy guy.
Correct. I haven't started that yet.
All
My
right.
dad actually used to. Another fact about me is that I'm the only boy on my dad's side. So I had three sisters. I have three older sisters, and my dad used to take my sisters to work as well. Before
Wow.
I was born.
Wow. I
We
bet
actually
that made you very special.
yeah, we have pictures of them like changing oil and doing all changes and stuff for my sisters.
the the little bit that I've got to know you over, and I've watched you grow a little bit because I think you were just a service manager at a different store, and now you're the service director. So that's quite a bit of responsibility. Obviously, you're very driven, and I believe, and I think you do, and that really life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So, not that we people take that wrong sometimes, think, well, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. Right? There's nothing wrong with being comfortable. And there's moments for that, obviously, but then there's times if you're chasing the dream and you want more, I find that busy people seem to make time for the things that are important, and people that aren't busy, they just don't seem to have time. I don't know what it is, but I love them where they're at and move on down the road. I'm sure you do too, but you're from what I've seen and heard, you display some tremendous leadership abilities, and you want the best for your people too, and you're there to support them. Where do those qualities come from? I know your father taught you the work ethic, but do you have a mentor or life coach? Where does this come from? Where does this desire to excel?
I have so many different mentors. In the automotive industry, one of my top mentors is Michael Barrich. He pretty much when I was down in the dumps in this automotive industry, because it's always highs and lows. And the
True.
crazy thing about this, I didn't even tell Michael about this. Like I just, we talk, every now and then, and he was talking, and he just knew I was in the dumps. I don't know how he knew I was in the dumps, and he pretty much the best way I can explain this is pretty much pull me by my collar, lift me up and say, look, I'm going to show you how to run a service department. And he showed me, and it's all about the people. It's all about finding good people and holding people accountable. And people genuinely want to be held accountable. They want to be led. They want a sense of direction. And then once I understood that, in order for the team to win, in order for us to get better, I have to lead a team and teach people how to win. And that's where the magic happened. When I started holding people accountable, I found the right people. I found people that cared. I found people that shared the same values as me. And we all joined the team, and then we stayed together. A lot of times, people go in different directions and stuff like
Sure.
that. But we actually held the team together. And he taught me just how to build a team and how to win, man, and how to teach people how to win. And that's one of my mentors in the industry, Michael Barrich.
It sounds just like Michael, which actually, you saying what you did is like the timing couldn't have been more appropriate, because one of the questions or comments, I'll let Charity ask this next one.
Okay. All right. Well, that does lead us over to Michael Barrich, who I'm aware mentored you. He said of you, what he lacks in experience, he more than makes up for with commitment and desire to learn. His passion will one day make him one of the best leaders in the automotive industry. Do you think that's come to fruition, and why?
Wow, great freaking question.
Wow, great question.
Yeah. I got emotional just my hair standing up on my arms, just saying.
So here's I'm just a real person. Wow, that's just mind blowing what he says and what he thinks about me. I think that I have a lot more growing to do. I think I got to get better. I will grow into that person though. Look, look, I'm lost for words just hearing you guys say that. But I will be that guy, and I do have high goals, and I will grow into that person. But I do believe that I have a lot more learning and experience to go through, and a lot more learning to do to become that guy. And yes, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work until I get there. Gonna work. I'm gonna give everything I got until I get there, and I'm not gonna stop any short of it.
Well, it is. Yeah, that was such a great question. And it was a great comment that Michael had about you. And I don't know how long ago that was, but I talked to Mike 2021. Okay. Because that was before you got the position you're in now too, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
I was a service manager then. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So you just keep growing and growing and growing.
You'll have to have him update that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Mike is the guy, man. Like he's just somebody that tells you like it is, man, whether you like it or not. And I like people like that because that's how you grow. You know, he could tell me I'm doing something wrong. He could tell me, you know, and he has no issues telling me, no, Darryl, that's not right. You know,
he doesn't either, does he?
No, and I like that criticism because that's how you get better. You know, I like to hear, you know, true feedback. You know.
You need it. You need it in order to make yourself better. Someone that just cuts to the chase.
Correct.
So I'd like to ask you, growing up, the way you grew up, you had to work for everything you had. Along the way, people find ways to get things that are the easier, softer way that turn out to be actually the wrong path. Did you experience any of those things growing up?
Yes, I have. I definitely have. And what I learned, you know, all right, so in life is no shortcuts. If you take the shortcut, you're gonna be exposed later on down the road. Time will tell. And if you put the work in, nobody could take that work, the hard work you put in, nobody could take it away from you. And your results will prove that. If you take the shortcut, the shortest path, or you cheat yourself, you're only cheating. I mean, if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. You know, you can have short-term results, but over time you will be exposed, and over time, the truth will come out. So I've seen tons and tons of people take the shortcut in life, and it backfired on them. You know, in that time, in that moment when they took the shortcut, they might have won temporarily, but the long-term result, it backfired on them. So I just believe in doing things the right way, being transparent. And at the end of the day, nobody could take the hard work I put in. Nobody could take it away from me because I actually put the work in.
Right on. When you,
well said.
Yeah, it very well said. A lot of us, probably all of us, depending on how open they are to actually talk about it. I certainly tried that. I know a lot of people did, taking shortcuts, and I realized that every decision I made involved people around me, whether my immediate family, my indirect family, friends, neighbors, associates, workers, whatever, church, somehow or another, you know, oh, well, it's not their problem. It's my problem. I suffer from terminal uniqueness. They don't really understand, but yet every decision we make somehow reverberates to the people around us, and it affects them in some way, form, or fashion. I know that if you get something for nothing, then that means somebody got nothing for something. There's a reckoning. There's a balancing there. You might think you're, like what you said, you might think you're winning for a little while, but it comes back on you, and you may not be able to say, well, it's because of this, that, or whatever the karma thing that it might be. But there's you reap what you sow, right?
100%. Yes. 100%.
So this is the kind of stuff you not only instill in your family, but you instill in all your employees too.
Correct. Yeah. My employees, you know, if they ever have any kind of, I mean, outside of the fixed op world, outside of fixing cars, they come to me for life experiences, life questions, relationship advice, children advice, just advice in general, purchasing advice, you know, financial advice. And I'm not an expert in all of these categories, but I'll just tell them the best of my knowledge or the best that I can help them, you know, what I do in that situation. And I might not always be right, but I'll just give them a genuine, pretty much opinion that I have on what I would do.
I think it's great that your employees would even come to you like that. That doesn't happen very often. So that says something about you anyway. And then and then all you're really doing is sharing your experience, strength, and hope of what worked for you. It doesn't mean it'll necessarily work for somebody else, but there are some tried and true principles that do, and that's the thirst and quest for knowledge and doing things the right way and not taking shortcuts. Those are all things that seem to be deeply instilled in you, aren't they?
Correct, man. I don't know. I said it before. I said it earlier, man. I guess my dad, like I said, with the hard work, man, I seen him, every day he got up and worked hard, and that's what I seen, and he was successful. So I mean, it's no shortcut. You gotta work for everything you want, And
what does your dad think of you today?
Oh, my dad, he's mind blown. He's mind blown. He tells me that I'm the better version of him. But I don't necessarily agree with him, because I really feel like everything I do is a reflection of what he's done. So
that's an amazing compliment coming from your father.
Yep.
So,
it really is.
It really is.
Yeah. So you are apparently still very close to him.
Yeah, we talk every day. Me and my dad.
Good deal.
Yeah, he lives in New York. I live in Louisiana, so we talk on the phone all the time, FaceTime. It's kind of funny, man. Like now that me and my dad's a little older, so we talk about different things now that when he's younger. And just to like, man, I wish you would have told me this when he's younger, man. Like, why did you wait so long to tell me? Like, you like to have fun and get out and do things as well. So I think it's kind of weird, man, that now that my dad's older, that he comes out and he's being like I guess one of my best friends, man. One of my best friends.
That's great. That's great. Not everybody has that. I rebelled against my father. And all he ever wanted was me to not even follow in his footsteps. He just said, whatever you do, Russell, I just want it to be legal, moral, and ethical. Because back then I didn't do a lot of stuff that was legal, moral, or ethical. But and I rebelled against his type, climbing that ladder of success and all that kind of stuff back in the day. And I turned out to be exactly like him. And we were estranged for a long time, but we're closer today than any other time. And he's made some comments like what your dad did, a better version, something along those same lines. And that means a lot to his son to hear that from their father. It's very humbling, isn't it?
Yeah, that is definitely humbling to hear that. I just don't ever, I don't ever want to compare myself to him because I feel like he's a legend in his own, he's his own legend. So I just want to, like I said, I just want to do the best and do whatever I can do to make him proud and for his legacy to live on through me.
Well, apparently it has. So he's obviously rubbed off on you. So let me ask you, or wait a minute, Cherry, do you have a question?
You can go or I can go. Well, up to you, Russell.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about, striving to be your best and what kind of person does that. So this is more of a micro version of that question. Getting up, going to work every day, taking a shower, taking care of the kids, there's a monotony that comes with it. So what gets you up in the morning? What motivates you to get up and do your best every day, each day?
Wow, great question.
Yeah, it is a great question because I think everybody, everybody gets tired. Everybody wants days off. Everybody want to lay in bed an extra 10, 15 minutes. And I think we all do at some point. But at the end of the day, I think it's all within self-discipline. So when it's times that I don't want to get up, I know I have to get up and I get up out of bed. It's times when I don't want to go to the gym and work out, but I know if I don't work out, what my results will be. Or if I want to eat a whole pie of pizza, I know that my results would be. So
yeah, just eat a half, right?
Correct. Just eat one slice, right?
Right. But
I think what motivates me during these tough times and when motivation wears out, because motivation comes and goes, is just the self-discipline part, just to know that you won't get your results that you're looking for if you don't put the work in. So when I'm laying in bed and my alarm goes off and I want to snooze it, it's this self-discipline thing knocking me in the back of my brain saying, hey, get up, let's go, get out of bed, let's go to work. But
New
then once you
day,
got
new
to bed,
opportunity. Yeah.
once you got to bed and you're rolling, that extra 5 minutes meant nothing in bed. So it's all about self-discipline and willing yourself out even when you don't feel like doing it, because a lot of times we're not going to feel like doing something, but you got to be disciplined to do it anyway.
Yeah, that reminds me, that was a great question, Charity. I at certain times in my life when I was chasing certain things that were really important to me, I remember one time, there's a backstory to it, but I'm not going to tell you the backstory, but there was something that I wanted to achieve. So I went to, back then it was called Kinko's. Now it's FedEx, right?
Correct.
And I had this 3 foot by 5 foot banner. That may be an exaggeration. It may have been 2 foot by 3 foot, but it was a large banner. Okay. And what I did was I put it on the ceiling above my bed. So that was the last thing I saw at night before I went to bed.
Really?
That was the first thing I saw when I woke up in the morning, to remind myself of what it was I was going after and the importance of that.
Wow.
And then when I got up, I don't do that anymore. I have things, tools and mechanisms that make that come into play. So sometimes it's difficult for me, like a lot of people, to get up, and I have to always be accomplishing something. Maybe it's my ADHD, maybe it's the driven part of my personality, maybe it's all the above. But one of the things I do is so I can see myself already accomplishing something, because I get up early. Early. I make the bed so I can have my first goal accomplished that morning. I did something, I completed it, I made the bed. I know that may sound trivial and insignificant, but it starts a pattern of things that I want to accomplish. And then I've showered and ate by 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'm on Clubhouse and various things, which I now see that you are popping into a few of those. And you just do what it takes. And I always try to make sure that I lift other people up and other people benefit along the way, unless they choose not to. I've learned a lot about time management in the last couple of years, particularly with this company, and empowering other people to do what they do way better than I would ever be able to do, instead of thinking that I had to know how to do that. Listen, we wouldn't be here today at all right now if it wasn't for Charity. I'm just going to tell you right now, it wouldn't be happening. She's an amazing talent and very accomplished at what she does. Obviously, you see our stuff all the time out there.
Correct. All the time.
Yeah. And so kudos to Charity, and thank you very much for, yeah.
Well, I gotta say, that attitude Russell has makes it easy to do my job.
Yeah, Russell,
I mean,
man,
that
look,
makes a huge difference to have a leader that will give you that freedom to do what you're good at. I mean, it makes all the difference.
that's so awesome. That is so awesome. And Russell, man, you actually help inspire me as well, man. Just get on to every Sunday morning and hearing you speak alone. I know Charity experienced the same thing. Just hearing you speak, man, is motivational, man. It's inspirational. So, I mean, I appreciate everything you've done for me, man. Like, I really have grown as a person listening to you talk. Talking about reading books every day, just, a chapter a day, a few pages a day. It really pays off, man. Like, with compounding, there you go. It really pays off, because of 10 pages a day, before you know it, you read a book in a month, and then you do that every single day. Then you read 12 books in a year, and then you look at your library, and your library has grown from one book to, there you go.
I mean, it's amazing, because it keeps the dream alive. It keeps the goals alive. Taking things from vapor and putting it on paper and writing things out about what you want. And then you seem to have excelled at associating with people that have something that you want, instead of people that, all they want to do is, yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile dream, but it has to have some goals with deadlines, and it can't be in your head. I tried that in your head stuff. I have so much, it just doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm very driven. It doesn't make any difference what age you are. I mean, I'm 63 and I don't feel 63. Okay.
You don't look it. You don't look
No.
it.
You don't.
You look good.
Well, thank you very much. But
I would not
will.
have guessed that. I think I know that somewhere in my head, but I would not have guessed that.
Anyway, I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. I don't know what you know. in service. I don't know. I grew up running stores. I was sold my way, worked my way up on the variable side, but I would surround myself with people that are like you, people that I could trust, that were, doing the right things for the right reasons. And I learned a lot from that. Now I've acquired a lot of information in the last 2.5 years as we built this company out from people like you, whether it be the mastermind or the things going on in Clubhouse or reading books or the SDL stuff. The SDL has been really, really exciting for me, the engagement and the fee, but it all boils down to the same thing, right? It's all about people.
Correct.
It's all
correct.
about people, right? Letting
100%.
people do what they do, empowering them. People want to know that they count, that they matter, that they make a difference, that they're contributing something. And there's not very many people that I know that do that as well as you, Darryl. And I mean that sincerely. So does Michael. The reason he made the comment that he did, because you have a way, that's your race that you're running, that you're able to accomplish it. You're talking to your people and they're coming to you talking about all these other things in life, but those are things that affect them. And they don't care how much you know, right? Until they know how much Darryl cares.
I really appreciate that, Russ. And just to touch on that, man, something you said earlier was you got to surround yourself around the right people. And people, I mean, surrounding yourself around the right people with everything. If one of Les Brown things that Les Brown says is that if you want to be a winner, you surround yourself around winners. If you want to be a loser, surround yourself around losers. And so I truly believe in just getting around the right people, people that could push you to grow, people that could push you to get to the next level, people that make you uncomfortable. And when I first got on the Service Drive Live, I was uncomfortable. I was scared to talk. I didn't want to say anything.
Me too.
I'm just listening, and now like I just feel honored that they call me and ask for my opinion on certain topics, man. And I grew because of a result of me being, getting uncomfortable and getting on a call every Sunday, even when I was afraid to speak, praying, I hope they don't call my name. I hope they don't call my name. And now, the person I am now, like I'm honored to speak. I like speaking. Even get on this the podcast with you and Chastity. Just to be on here, the honor is a privilege, and this is growth. Like this is growth within myself. I appreciate you guys having me on.
I just don't know. Well, I say I don't know. I know exactly what it is because I know pretty much what makes people tick. But if 95, and Sherry's heard this over, if 95% of the population gets their information from the same 95% of the population that has what they have or less than what they have, and they wonder why the hell they don't have anymore, you got to associate with like what you're talking about. I've seen Les twice at conventions back in the late 90s and early 2000s speak. Really? Phenomenal. Read his books. I got a couple of them. I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about him because he's so right on. I mean, it's about being a servant leader. There's leaders and then there's servant leaders. Darryl Terrell is a servant leader. Okay. Somebody that wants to lift other people, show them how to do the things, get where everybody has a why, right, Darryl? Everybody has something that they want. They just don't know how to get it. They just don't know what they don't know. Some of those things. So you pass that along by letting them sharing your experience, strength, and hope so that they can maybe something there, fire them up. But it is about being uncomfortable, unfortunately, sometimes. And I've watched that happen with you too. You're much more freer in speaking today than you were a year ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it comes with growth. And it came because I decided to get uncomfortable. And the more and more I put myself in those situations, the more and more comfortable I became. And at the end of the day, it was fear. And I mean, I don't even know why I feared it, but I got past it and I worked on it. And I truly believe that whatever you want to do in life, if you work on it and you want it bad enough, you'll get it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that. I live in the North Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area. Nobody really knows where Sherman Denison is, but about an hour and 10 minutes from here, we have this Six Flags, which everybody's, amusement park, right?
Yes.
And
they have one in Jersey, I believe also, right?
Do they?
Yeah.
So in my mind, right, because we think in pictures, right? When people are talking, they're painting this and they're thinking in pictures. So I know how I'm going to get to Six Flags from here. There's a particular set of roads that I would use and have many times. And then, in life, we have these detours or roadblocks, and people think, oh, well, God doesn't want me to do this, or the timing's not right, or whatever the case may be. But all that is a detour. There's plenty of other paths to get to Six Flags. So my kids are in the back seat. That's not going to stop me because there's several different roads to get to the same destination. And I just don't. I think it's important for people not to give up, and they think they have an obstacle. They think they need to shut down, or then they go listen to somebody that says, you know what, you can't do that. I tried that. That won't work. And then you meet somebody like Darryl Terrell who just interrupted them and did.
Correct. And I experienced this so much, man. So growing up, I didn't come from the best. I guess I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood, and I really witnessed a lot of people make excuses for the predicament they're in. People, I will hear things like, hey, I can't get a job because then my government assistance will be taken away. Or like, I would hear all kinds of excuses why they can't do something. And I didn't buy none of it though, man. I just was like, man, if you want to make that excuse, that's fine. You could keep that. But like, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to find a better job. I'm going to grow. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, I have a no excuse mentality. I hold myself accountable for all of my results. And I hold my team accountable for all of their results. And at the end of the day, like if I want my team to win, and I push everybody on my team to win. And if you're on my team, you're going to win. And I take that personally. And if you're losing, I really take that personally. So I feel like it's my job to help everybody around me find a way to win.
Those are tremendous leadership abilities. They really are. Because you're right. You mentioned it earlier. People want to be led and they want to be inspired and they really want to be accountable. Okay. Our kids, they can get over on us and get over on us and get over on us. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's no, and that's it. It's a complete sentence. Now, I struggled with that because I don't have a book for parenting 101, unfortunately, but, and I struggled with that with my kids, but let me tell you where I'm not struggling with that is with my grandkids, because I got 4 of them. So, when Papa speaks, and he says no, it's not open for debate. Some of them are old enough to where they'll kind of understand, look, anything other, Gabby, she's 11 years, anything other than yes, you're just going to keep coming at me. No is a complete sentence. It has a period next to it. That's it. I don't have to. Sometimes I offer up an explanation because it's a moment for her to learn something. And other times you just know, deal with it. It ain't going to happen. And we're not going to negotiate at all.
Case closed. Case closed.
And I think on the flip side of that leadership topic is, leaders who are strong leaders, they like to lead people that are learners, that want to learn and that want to follow and listen and grow. And that's how they turn those learners into leaders, and, it just keeps going over and over. Yeah,
no, it does. Apparently Michael Barrich was one of those for you.
Yeah.
And still is today, He's not an excuse guy, and I'm not going to say it right now because Charity would end up editing it out either. But he is the Tennessee Titan, and he does have a couple of other initials before that. And
I'll allow cussing.
Okay. He's I just want to keep it somewhat clean, and I have before, but he'll tell you like it is.
Michael Barrich is like a Wikipedia for me. Whatever question I have, whatever problem I'm going through, I could call Michael Barrich and he'll be calm and he'll break it down into something that you can understand. He'll use a weird metaphor or whatever and then he'd be like, man, that makes sense. Like one day he was like, hey, just get your canvas out and your paintbrush and just start painting. And I'm like, what? And then it snapped. Like he's like, man, whatever you say goes, like you paint your own picture, and
yeah. Something about Michael is that I've grown to love and respect is if he tells you something, there's no hidden agenda for him. It's for you.
Yeah, correct.
It is. And that's a unique talent that he has, right? That's how he leads and inspires and motivates. And okay, I know this is great stuff though. So let me Let me do this. This is a good one. What do you think are some of or one of the biggest struggles with the human condition today? What do most people struggle with?
Today, great question. All these questions are great. I think that the mass majority that people struggle with today is, man, there's so many different ways I could go with this
There's a
question.
lot of different answers to this one.
The I think the mass majority that what people struggle with today is accountability. I think that when things happen, a lot of people look to point excuses rather than find a solution for it. And I truly believe that, like, I deal with a lot of problems all the time, and a lot of the problems I deal with, I think that if people really sat down and thought about it, they could figure it out by themselves without, making a big deal about it or escalate to where it went or where it is. But I think one of the biggest problems that we deal with people is the fact of not being accountable for their results and trying to make excuses for it.
Wow.
That's what I believe.
A lot of that going on, huh?
Correct. I mean, it goes on with everything from cars breaking down to losing a job, or like for instance, I'll give you an example. If I hire somebody, right, and I say, hey, I'm gonna give you X amount of dollars, and your job is to perform X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, if I don't pay you the money that I agree to pay you, you're gonna be in my office on Friday saying, hey, my paycheck is short. So I think that as far as accountability wise, right? So if you agreed to terms of doing X, Y, and Z for me, and if you didn't do X, Y, and Z, we're gonna have a conversation, and I'm gonna be holding you accountable, saying, hey, I paid you X amount of dollars and you didn't perform X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's all about being accountable. And I think that if people held themselves accountable, then a lot of different problems in life that we're all experiencing just go away.
I certainly agree with that. We are getting kind of close. Charity comes up with these really cool quick fire questions. But before we do, Darryl, let's talk about EV, electric vehicles. I mean, it's a big buzz out there right now, right?
Yeah, California just said that every car, 10 years from now has to be electric.
Yeah. So
every new car sale.
Yeah. What do you think about this EV adoption, and will it be massive, or will it be a fading thing, or what do you think about EV?
So I really believe that they're trying to they're making a big deal about it. No doubt about it. I think 10 years from now, I'm just throwing this out there, I think probably 30 to 40% of our cars will be EV. I think the more and more they produce these cars and they become readily available, I think more people will buy them, and consumers will purchase them. I don't think it would be a bad thing. It's all about adopting and just change. People like change. So I think that, I would buy an EV car myself. I'll drive it,
Have you?
No, I never drove one yet, but I will drive one. I'm not somebody that's gonna say no, EV I can't drive, because I never gave it a shot. I'm all about changing, and I'm all about, finding the best way to do something. So if EV is that way of doing it, then I'm all for it.
There's the verdict's still out, even though there's a lot of buzz out there. There's a lot of challenges before it trickles down to the masses, don't you think, or no?
Yeah, but with anything in life, man, it's a lot of challenges. When they was trying to produce an airplane, right, nobody thought it would happen. Down to the light bulb, nobody thought it would happen. So,
who would drive a car? How dare they? They're not going to get rid of the horse and carriage. That's not going to happen.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
and there were systematic processes to prevent that from happening at the time when cars were. But just think of the infrastructure issues with installing electricity across the world.
Yeah.
You can just flip a switch and a light comes on.
Yeah, it's like, well, bet everybody in their house got to put the wiring in, and that's a big infrastructure issue.
Hell, why don't you? How about 100 years ago? It was, I mean, you were insane to think,
Yeah.
even think remotely about putting a bathroom in your house. Are you
Correct.
kidding? Well, why would somebody do that?
Correct. But
Oh
I
my
believe
God.
EV is here to stay, and I believe that we're going to see some huge transformations within the next 10 or 15 years from now.
Well, you
Okay.
should come to Russell's. Are you going to be a digital dealer?
No, I won't be at Digital Dealer, but I'll be in Chicago in 2 weeks from now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
how
we'll
about?
see at the SDL thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at NADA, we're putting on a workshop about EVs and EV adoption. So you should join
And,
us.
I will
and
be
fixed,
there. I
yeah.
will be
And fixed operations. It's going to be a Russell charity tandem thing. So we got 2 workshops. I'll tell you, it's a big
Can't wait.
deal. It's a big deal to us because as long as I've been in automotive and what I've thought about NADA and hoping that someday I would have an opportunity to actually speak at a NADA, but I expected it would never, I hoped it would, but I expected it probably wouldn't. And once again, I'm going to tell you that the reason that it's happening is because of charity. Now, she can say whatever she wants to. She's part of pulling back the veil, and because I mean, she's our chief marketing officer. She's a female. She's an executive level at what's becoming a rather large company. And I think more and more women need to be in the business, don't you?
Yes, I definitely believe that. Especially with 4 girls, I want to make sure they have an opportunity.
You better believe that, Dad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. I want to make sure they have an opportunity. I asked them, from now, hey, what do you want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? And I instill things like entrepreneurs, CEOs, things along that nature. So charity, man, look, that kudos to you. Russ is saying nothing but great things about you. That's like
I
that
appreciate
is
all
so
that,
awesome.
Russell.
Sure. Okay. Here
Want
we
to
go.
pivot?
Yeah,
for quick
let's pivot
fire.
because we're gonna have to shut things down here in a minute.
Okay.
So be prepared for this, Darryl. Here it comes.
This is kind of
Go.
the fun, more loose part. I'll ask you a couple of quick fire questions. They're meant to be fast and fun, so hope you enjoy them. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Man, that was man. He didn't have to think about that one.
If you won $10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on?
Ooh, I probably would save it. I don't think I would spend. I would want to save it. I would want to save it and think about an investment.
Yeah.
All of it? You wouldn't spend any of it right away?
No, I'll probably. I mean, I kind of have everything I want in life. Like as far as like value things, I would want to. I think 10 million. I would definitely make an investment with it. I just don't know right off the top of my head what investment I'll do.
Got it.
That's smart because most people who win the lottery are broke within 5 years.
Yep, they are, and miserable. Their lives sometimes destroyed, shattered. Good point.
Absolutely. And this is my personal favorite question. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
It would be to start saving from young. Don't wait. All the cars, stereo speakers, rims, TVs, none of that stuff is worth it now. So if I could give myself advice, it would be save as much as possible from back then to put myself in a better position now.
Yeah, have something to show for all that
Yeah,
hard work you've put in.
That's amazing discipline. That's great. Although I would like to, I think that if you told your 18-year-old self that, you probably wouldn't listen anyway.
They told me, and my dad told me it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us listen to the good advice we're given when we're young.
So thank you very much for participating in WTF today.
I appreciate you guys having me.
We appreciate it
so much.
We do.
Yeah. And listen, everybody out there, boom, drop that. Where's that? Drop that mic.
There's the mic.
That was a pill bottle. But drop the mic. Darryl Terrell, okay, FixedOPS director at Matt Bauer. I say it right. Metairie. Okay. Okay. Matt Bauer, Metairie, Chevrolet Metairie. Okay. And I hope all of you got something out this today. You can find him on LinkedIn. I'm sure you can find him on Facebook too. You can also find him Sundays and SDL and a plethora of other places. Okay. He's a wealth of information, so much that we couldn't even cover a fraction of it today. But we, look for the episodes that'll be coming out. Like us, love us, share us, talk about us, and reach out to Darryl whenever you can if you have any questions, because he's a guy that will answer those questions and be there for you. So thank you very much. Charity and I are humbled and honored that you were on the show today.
Thank you all as well. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darryl.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you're enjoying this episode of WTF. And for those of you that don't know, it stands for What the Fixed Ops. We come out with new episodes and shorts all the time. We launch them both on YouTube and LinkedIn and all your favorite podcasting networks. We could use your support today, so please take a moment, head out to the YouTube channel and subscribe. I'll post a link in the description below. Don't miss an episode or short. We'll see you again soon.